Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. This is another Together We Can video. I am Jason Hassett. Sorry for not being around for last Wednesday and Friday's normal time slots, but we were working on our much anticipated course. And for those of you who are interested in the course, go ahead and pop a comment for 100% off in the comments below until that runs out at the end of the month. And for those of you who are still asking where is the course, well, apologies for the delay. It was supposed to launch on Friday, but we decided to add a few more sections and make it a little bit more useful for you. So it will be going live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central on our website. So if you head over to the link in the description below, you'll find a link about our course, and tomorrow at 10 a.m. that will have in the article a link to the course, etc., etc. It has all the details there about how you can be notified and so on. So head over to that. But today we're going to talk about something very, very important to those of you who have or are going to take the course and those who aren't, and that's about big spenders, or whales as they're known in the industry, how much they spend on average, and what is the best way about going about getting them to register on your website. And we're going to talk about that right after this. Hello viewers, today's episode of Together We Can is brought to you by Vice Temple. Vice Temple are the leading online providers of hosting for adult websites. The problem with the likes of GoDaddy, Namecheap, all of these, although they are fantastic suppliers, their terms of service do not allow for any adult content. And you might think that maybe you're in the grey area, but why risk it? Vice Temple provide easy to use, simple hosting with great support for as little as $5 if you use our link. Otherwise it's going to be $10 to $15 a month, but you can get started today for just $5 by using the link in our description. And it also supports us by keeping us afloat, because we need those dollar bills. Check out vicetemple.com. The link is in the description below. Now let's get back to the episode. So it doesn't really matter whether you're using Chaturbate, Bongacams, Strip Cash, Live Jasmine, Bongacams. Again, you'll find a link for all those in the descriptions. But if you followed our guide up here on how to become a Chaturbate affiliate and then recreated those steps on others, we've found that there is a few different categories of spenders on these websites, and inside the industry these are known as either fish, whales, and so on. And we're going to run through today what the different types of whales are, so you can kind of figure out if you've caught a big whale or if you've just caught an average Joe or whatever. And this will tell you how much you can kind of expect from them on average, or whether they're going to spend again, that kind of thing. And then at the end, we're going to talk about some quick tips on how you can find these amongst the ocean of other people who are out there hunting. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into the first type of spender. So the first one we don't even count as a fish, we call it Average Joe, and these tend to spend about on average $70 a month up to around $100 a month, making your average commission from them about $20. Now a lot of these won't come back, so if you can find a way to get the Average Joe into a subscription of about $20 a month, it means you earn $4 a month from them ongoing, and that would make more sense for you, because otherwise you're going to get one $20 payment and never see them again. So if in your content strategy or your social strategy you can push these people towards just signing up and going on a subscription basis, then it's going to make life a lot better for you, because there are just a ton of these Average Joes. There's more of them out there than anything else. So if you can figure out a way to get these people into your loop and into your funnel, and then convince them just to sign up for that $10 or $20 a month subscription with a cam girl, it's going to make a lot more sense for you in the long run. The next on our list is big fish. Now big fish tend to spend around $300 a month, and this makes your average commission $60 a month. Now it's not a huge amount, but again, the great thing about big fish is they are plentiful. There are a ton of people on these platforms that spend on average $300 a month. In fact, of the recurring customers, these would be the main spenders. So these would be the most plentiful of people who recurringly spend. Obviously the most plentiful are your Average Joe that kind of just dip their toe in the water and then feck off out of there. The next is what us in the industry call the mini whale. Now the mini whale will spend between $2,000 and $4,000 a month, so an average of around $3,000 a month, and a mini whale will net you anywhere from $200 to $500 or $600 a month. So even if you're just targeting on replacing your full-time income with this, and you're making an average income of around $2,000 a month, then you're going to want to catch maybe 4 to 10 of these big whales, and this will keep you going for a long time. The good thing about these mini whales whales is that they tend to come back. They don't just leave you once they come in. So if you're a cam girl especially, you want to focus on getting these people hooked on your cam feed, engaging with them a little bit more. If you're a Chaturbate affiliate, then you're going to want to figure out a way to net these people down, and I'll go through how to figure out who are the most likely to turn into big whales or mini whales later on in this, along with whales and so on. Have our whales. Now, whales are quite a rare sight, and they tend to spend anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 on average on these platforms. So if you can catch one of these, and just one of these, you can net between $2,000 and $3,000 per month on average, which means that you'll only need 10 of these to make that elusive $20,000 a month, or 5 of them to make $10,000 a month. So this is where you can really start getting into big earnings. And for those of you who don't know, the top 5% of earners in the world make around $10,000 a month. It's about $120,000 a year. So if you could get 10 of these people, you would be into the top 2% of earners worldwide just from getting 10 whales. That's how much doing your research in this industry makes a difference. So, and if you're wondering what the top 1% is, it's weirdly $482,000 a year. Most people think it's millions. So you could actually get yourself into the top 10 or top 1% in the world just by focusing in on this industry. And that's why you want to look for whales. And again, at the end of this video, I'm going to go through some top tips on how to find them. Now, the final category of spenders are known as super whales, but I think that's a really, really dull name. So internally here, we have called them the Moby Dicks. And what you're going to want to hunt for is, ironically, the Moby Dicks, because they spend on average, and yes, there are people like this out there, they spend on average $50,000 a month, which would make your commission on Chaturbate $20,000 or $10,000 a month, or, just way higher than that, $12,500 a month on Bongacams, or even higher on Live Jasmine. It could be around $20,000 a month commission from just one of these. So if you were to earn just one of these people's respect, in that they register on your platform and you earn the commissions, you could earn yourself into the top 5% of earners worldwide just by catching one Moby Dick. And that's why it's really, really important to figure out your content strategy now. And it's something that we'll go ahead and do heavily on the course, and how to figure out demographics, how to kind of get yourself into these. So do definitely click that link below for the course, which is going live at 10 a.m. CT tomorrow, for that 100% off discount as well. Leave your comment in the comments below. Now, when it comes to catching big fish, by which I mean the mini whales, the Moby Dicks, then you need to really think outside the box. And the reason I say that is because if you are just looking to catch your average Joe and your big fish, and that's fine if you want to play the numbers game, and then all you really need to do is up the traffic to your content strategy and up the traffic to your Instagram, Twitter strategies, Reddit, whatever places you're using socially to capture those link clicks into your funnel and to your Chaturbate affiliate or any of those sites. However, if you want to catch these whales, then you need to really focus in, because it's a lot more tricky. Now, you can get lucky and just catch them by the numbers, so I'm not saying that doesn't work. But the likelihood is if you just put out an absolute numbers game, you're going to get a lot of people in India, a lot of people in different countries. And what's going to happen is you're going to get thousands of registrations a year, and you're still just going to have a ton of average Joes, which might be fine for you as well. But, it's basically what you really want to be doing is, target striking these fish, as opposed to just putting a ton of nets out. Because a ton of nets out, it may work, but it may not. There's no science to it. So that's the first thing I would say is if you want to go down the route of just catching your average Joes and your big fish, then that's fine. But if you want to be more targeted, then there's a few things you need to look at and do your research on. And I'm going to run through those now, obviously. So when it comes to whales and Moby Dicks, you will find some in the poorer countries. There are rich people in India, there are rich people in some of the South American countries, there are rich people in, some of those Asian countries and in Russia and so on. However, because of the way these people are brought up, they're likely not to spend much money on these platforms. Now, there are the exceptions, and of course you need the exceptions because they prove the rule. But if you want to really target, then you're going to have to stick to your tier 1 countries. Now, if you want to know what the tier 1 countries are, click the link here above, where I go through all the different tiers of countries. However, just to give you a quick overview, you are looking at places like the United States, some of the countries in Europe, and like likes of Japan, where people are into some strange things. Now you're going to have to target those differently based on niche and location. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to head over to Pornhub statistics. Now I can't put it in the link below because it'll get removed by YouTube, but if you just Google Pornhub statistics, what you can actually do is you can find out the biggest searches by country and also the most spent by country. Now to give you a quick overview as well, the biggest spender on adult entertainment in the world is Norway. So if you want to get started on just focusing in on one country, then I'd suggest going with Norway because they have huge spenders, but they do have a smaller population, whereas if you go on the US, you could target a state with a population like that of Norway, which makes life easier. Now, the second thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look at those statistics in Pornhub by country and see what people are most interested in. This is going to give you kind of a cultural insight into what people there like to look at, and this will kind of narrow it further down. Now, once you've done that, then you're going to want to go ahead and you're going to want to create a content strategy around that particular niche, and then you're going to want to head over to Get Response, link in the description below. And you're going to want to create some sort of form on that content strategy. And the reason for this is you're going to want to capture people. So what you want to do then is you want to have a quick form and give these people exclusive content that you're going to email them. And this can literally just be, we're going to tell you about the best cam girls, we're going to give away some tokens, whatever it is to entice people to give you some data. Now, once they've given you that data, what you want them to do is go ahead and fill in a form that lets them tell you their name, or they can leave that blank if you want, but it's great to have that for personalization. Next, after that, you're going to want to fill in something like your earnings or how much you spend on average on these platforms and try and get that detail. Put in, I'd rather not say if you want, but the goal here is to try and get them to tell you that. And then finally, their email address. And if you want other details to narrow this down, like what's your favorite type of content, etc., that's what you're going to want to do. So you funnel these people in. So what we do is we drive a lot of people to our websites and we have a Get Response kind of pop up or something coming up, and they fill in their details to get some sort of reward from us. Now, once you've got those details, what you can do is you can go over to Get Response and you can add in an automation. Now, there are tons and tons of videos about how to do a Get Response automation, and also it's a 30-day trial. So don't feel like you have to pay for Get Response. What I would do is I would sign up for the 30-day trial. If you get no results after the 30 days, then feel free to leave it or feel free to keep digging for gold. Anyway, back on track, what you want to do is set up an automation. Now, you don't want to entice them to do something instantly. You want to send them about 3 mails over the course of 2 to 3 weeks where you warm up to this lead and get their trust in you. So you're giving them some free information, some free stuff that they like, some tips and tricks, and these can link to your site, so you're not losing them completely. But then in the very last email, what you're going to want to do is get these people to convert to a registration for you. So in your last email to them, you want to tell them that we choose a winner to get X amount of tokens, or if you don't want to give away free tokens, we send exclusive content to anyone who registers on our site. And then they're going to go over, register on your site, and you're just going to send everyone who signed up for your link that exclusive content anyway. Seems like kind of a cheat, maybe it is, but hey, it works. It works really, really well. And this is a great way to kind of start figuring out demographics. So that's one of my tips, but what I would say is, if you really want to make money in this industry, then the beauty is that Pornhub and all these other places put out a ton of statistics for you. So you can go ahead and research niches, cultural interests, location data, and all this sort of stuff. And you can start narrowing down into the big spenders and winning those big commissions. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and head over to the course link below and just wait around for 10 a.m. CT tomorrow, or pop your email in there and we will give you an update as soon as it's live. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you hopefully for the course tomorrow, and if not, we'll see you Wednesday for our next video.